So who are we going to focus on this time? Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we're here with One Piece, episode 1113. So, this is the start of a number of episodes where we're going to be away from the main story in Egghead. This is something I have already heard about. I don't know the details of it. I just know that for a good amount of episodes, we are not going to be focusing on the Egghead stuff. We had the big reveal with the traitor and all being revealed, and technically we've started to focus on other stuff with Shanks taking out Kid. So now we're going to go into more of that. And we've had some setups for other stuff involving that, such as the fights between Law and Blackbeard. We have stuff going on with Kobe being taken by Blackbeard. A lot of stuff with Blackbeard. But I'm sure there's other stuff we'll focus on as well during these episodes. And I'm very curious as to exactly what those things are going to be. Excuse me. But, yeah. This is going to be a number of episodes where we're just not going to see the Straw Hats and everything going on with Egghead. And I'm curious as to how much else we are going to get because of that. I genuinely have no clue what this is going to entail. I don't know what stuff we're going to get into here. But I'm excited. I'm excited to find out where we're going to go. But there is something else that I'm going to talk about in the afterthoughts. I'll leave that for there. But just be prepared for that. I do have something else I want to mention regarding all that. And we will get to that then. For the time being, though, I think we're just going to get into this, get through this episode, and see what we have for the start of this series of side plots, I guess. Let's go with that. So, let's find out what we get for episode 1113 of One Piece. Let me just cut in here for a moment to remind you of all the awesome content we have on the channel. A plethora of awesome series reactions every day, Monday through Friday, with 2 on Friday. We also have movie reactions every Saturday and Sunday, as well as Let's Plays. We alternate between Horizon Baldur's Gate 3 every day, and we have Anno Mutationum on Saturdays. We also redirect all reactions on the channel. Please follow the link in the description to get to today's reaction. It's due to copyright, you get the idea. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out and allows me to get out more awesome content for all of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's get on with the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. There was too goddamn little of Perona in this episode. Like, we have this big start with her and Kobe, and we know Kobe worked with her to get out, and that's what's leading this escape attempt now. But what happened with her? And I guess, by extension, Moria. What's going on with all of that? We're just going to ignore that to focus on, like, Kobe's attempted escape and everyone coming in to help save him? It's like, don't get me wrong, I mean, that's interesting, but I want more Perona. And less of this whip girl. Kujaku, I think her name was? Yeah, I'd be okay with less of her. I can't explain why, but she creeps me out. Something about her is just unnerving. I just don't like her. I'd be okay with, like, less of her. We also get this dude who I guess has, like, a clay devil fruit, but I don't think it ever actually said. Like, for sure. We just kind of assumed. And that was after I assumed he was, like, some kind of weird golem thing. Or golem, however you want to pronounce it. But we also find out that Avalo Pizarro, or Pizarro, again, however you want to pronounce it, he's the island. So, okay, so he has the isle fruit, right? He's an island man. We saw that he could come out of, like, it looked like the wood of the building, though. Because it looked like he was coming out of the wood of the building. But he was also appearing in, like, the stone of the island and everything. And he could control the giant stone skull. So, is it that he can, like, because he's an isle fruit user, an island man, I guess, does that allow him to, like, control any inorganic matter on the island and, become it? It kind of reminds me of oh god, what is his name? Pika from the Don Quixote pirates. Just Rosa and all. Cuz he could kind of do that with just stone and everything. But Avalo seems to be like an upgraded version of that. Seems to be much more extensive. So that's a thing. We also found out Blackbeard's current goal. He wants to create a country, an affiliated country of the world government. We don't know why, but that is his goal. Unfortunately, his plan to use Kobe as a bargaining chip is not the best because of Kobe being a member of SWORD, which Kuzan is able to shed some light on. Apparently, members of SWORD have handed in their resignation. They're officially still members of the Navy. They're still technically, like, hired in, but they're in a special circumstance to where at any time they could be fired and take the entirety of the brunt of their what's the word? They take the entire responsibility of their actions. Let's put it that way. And that way the rest of the Marines don't, like, take on that responsibility themselves. And so we see that they can basically be fired anytime. They're basically scapegoats. They're scapegoats who are allowed to do whatever the fuck they want, even go after emperors. But if anything happens, they're fired, and the main forces of the Marines don't take the responsibility for what they did. So using them as a bargaining chip doesn't really work because of that. Because the Navy could just say, oh, well, they're fired, they're not part of us anymore anyway, so whatever. There's a little bit of that's really fucked up, but also a side to it that's excessively useful. There's also the side, the perspective of the fact that Kobe has done this is really surprising to me. I can kind of get it, because Kobe would want to do anything he can to fight against the forces of evil. And I would see him be willing to put his career and even life on the line for that. Fair. But, being a Marine is his biggest goal. It's his dream. So at the same time, it's like putting that all at risk to the point where even if he survives, he could get, like, cut out of the Navy altogether. That seems like a choice that would kind of go against his dreams. So it's wild. It's just a wild choice for him to make. I'm very curious as to, like, why he decided to enter SWORD. If we're going to see, like, a specific moment that, like, caused that. And Helmeppo being there doesn't surprise me. That's not a surprise at all. I'm kind of curious about all the others too, though. Like, what was their reasoning for wanting to join something like that, or believing they needed to? On top of that, we now have Garp on the way, despite the fact that he's supposed to be retired. And I mean, that makes sense though, because he's like he's Kobe's mentor. So it makes sense that he would want to go and save him. I get that. It's just like shit's about to get wild, isn't it? Shit's about to go crazy. And I still want to know what's going on with Perona. You know? Maybe that's just me, but I really want to know what's going on with Perona at the moment. And her quest to find Moria. But I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Hopefully that does get answered and we do get to see that still. I especially want to see like how she and Kobe cooperated there. After, you know, she let him out. That's very interesting as a concept. So I very much want to see that too. But we're going to have to wait. So you might remember, I think it was at the start of this year. I think so. But we had taken a break from One Piece to just kind of refresh myself. Because I wasn't necessarily feeling burnout or anything, but I felt like I was starting to get like to go in that direction. Like I could really feel burnout anytime in the near future. And I decided to take a break, and I wanted to come back basically when Film Red was coming out. And the timing didn't exactly work out, so I believe I came back a little sooner. But still. The point I'm getting at here is obviously I'm going to be taking another break. It's probably not going to be as long this time. I think last time it was like a couple months or so. It's not going to be as long this time. It's going to be a lot shorter. It's basically going to be for one series. I feel like I just need a break from One Piece for the moment. And when we come back, obviously we'll do a couple like multi-episode parts and all to get caught up. But yeah, I think I just need a little bit of a rest from One Piece for the moment. Just give it some time off. Again, I'm not really facing burnout exactly, but I'm at that point where it's like burnout could happen. And so I'm wanting to like kind of like beat it to the punch, you know what I mean? So we're gonna do one show in its place. We're gonna react to one show in its place and then come right back to One Piece. And I don't think it's a long one. Let me actually see how many episodes it is. I think it's probably like 6 to 10 or something like that. Because I know it's only one season. Oh no, I think it's longer than I thought it was. Looks like it's 19 episodes. Okay. And it looks like they have a variance of running times. So it's like some episodes are just shorter than others. Hmm. I'm just checking one other thing before I announce it here. Okay. Yeah, so it's one season long, at least for now. I don't know if it's gonna get more, but it's actually based off of something we reacted to like early last year. It's a continuation slash spin-off of a movie we reacted to that I actually enjoyed. It wasn't like the best thing I ever reacted to. I had a couple like issues with it, if I remember right, but I did still enjoy it. There was still a lot of fun aspects to it. And I've been wanting to get to this series, just never really found the time to get to this specifically. And to be fair, there were points I forgot about it too. So the series we will be getting to that will take the place of One Piece starting next week on Mondays. And like I said, right after we finish that, we'll come right back into One Piece. But the series is I Heart Arlo, the sequel spin-off series of Arlo the Alligator Boy. I don't know if you remember when we reacted to that, but yeah, it was pretty good, and it had Haley something like that. The voice of Marcy from Amphibia, she was in it, as the cat character. Yeah, it's a series I've wanted to get to, and I just never really found the time or opportunity. Plus, again, like I said, I forgot about it at quite a few points during this almost year and a half, I think, since we reacted to the movie. And I finally remembered it, finally thought of it, and when I was thinking of like, oh, what am I gonna like put in One Piece's place for this? I was thinking like, oh, this would actually be a good time to get to this, to finally check out this series. Um, and I think the concept of Arlo and everything will work better as a series anyway than it did as a movie. It'll have more room to breathe. So yeah, we have 19 episodes of that, and let me check something. Let me see if there's anything about like a season 2 possibly happening. All it says, okay, it says here just, yeah, follow up to the movie. Has the same cast and everything. Yeah, Tony Hale, Haley Ju, Jonathan Van Ness, Mary Lambert, Michael Woodard. Same voice cast, and probably some other ones that I'm not going to look up for because new characters and whatnot. I'm not seeing anything about it, one way or the other. So I just don't know. I can't find any info regarding it. Of course, I also don't know how season 1 ends up going, to be fair. It might be a just completely solid, finalized story. It might not have a need for another season. I don't know. But I'm curious to see how this goes. So we're going to start that, like I said, next week. I'll talk more about it in the pre-thoughts when we get to that for episode 1. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I definitely hope it improves upon what we got in the movie. And I'm just very excited to see these characters and all the fun shenanigans and weirdness again. Uh, it feels weird to be taking a break from One Piece. It always does anytime we do it. But I think it's the right decision here. I think it's the right decision. Um, Now, for the little thing that pops up, you know, this for that. Um, I'm not gonna change that until after Wednesday, because just if you didn't know, we are finishing Adventure Time season 8 on Wednesday. Um, with the Islands special. We're going to be doing that all in one go together, just like we did all of Stakes together last season. So we're gonna finish that on Wednesday, and then so I'm gonna switch the thing and everything and the channel banner, which hadn't been switched yet, by the way, for other changes. I need to keep up on the channel banner too. All of that's going to be changed on Wednesday after I get that stuff up. So in case anyone was wondering about that too, so it's going to still show One Piece on there until after then. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know your thoughts on this episode of One Piece down in the comments below. I think this is a good one to leave off on anyways, because it leaves off on a pretty good cliffhanger. I really think that's a good way to leave off for a bit. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much as always for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.